Here we are with another show. Here we are, so get ready, let's go cheer on Washington Football Maniacs on YouTube.
So Eric Bieniemy is officially the new offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders, and not everybody is excited or happy about that, apparently. But then again, it is the Washington Commanders, and the media in general hates Washington for some reason, probably because of Dan Snyder. And I would say, you know what? Cheers to that, because nobody likes Dan Snyder. I love a good cup of coffee in the morning. So I have to say that no hire for the Washington Commanders, no matter how good or bad it is, no stone gets unturned with this, right? Like, there's always going to be somebody who is going to take a big, forgive my French, but a big dump on whatever move the Washington football team decides to make. And with the hiring of Eric Bieniemy, which most of us seem to conclude that it was a slam dunk move by the Washington Commanders, a lot of people in the media, well, I won't say a lot of people, but I will say there are some chosen few who are so dead set against the idea of Eric Bieniemy going to Washington to be their offensive coordinator that it is almost laughable. All right, so some of the reasoning I can understand. For one thing, RG3, Robert Griffin III, he couldn't understand why Eric Bieniemy would go to the Washington Commanders in what is considered a lateral move when he deserves a head coaching position. I totally get that. I think that Bieniemy is probably long overdue a head coaching position. For one reason or another, teams have overlooked him as a head coach. I don't know why, but that has just been the case. People can make the case of color, of skin. I'm not going to get into that. There's been other coaches who have been hired due to, maybe not due to the color of their skin, but they were not white coaches. And at the same time, there were coaches who were white who got hired right there on the spot. So could be a case for that. I don't know. At the same time, there have been other reasons why that maybe he has not gotten head coaching position. And then there's reasons why he should be a head coach. So I get why that some of these talking heads, like, Griffin III, are saying things like that. It's interesting, though, that with someone like Emmanuel Echo, now, I didn't spend a lot of time trying to find the video that he posted on Twitter just a couple of days ago before the hire was official, basically stating that Eric Bieniemy does not need to go to the Washington Commanders. Like, why in the world would he make this lateral move to the Washington Commanders? You're basically going from, luxury to the ghetto, so to speak. Now, those were not his words, but that's basically the point that he was making, right? And, saying that Eric Bieniemy needed to be head coach. Basically crapped on the Washington Commanders, the franchise, dysfunctional franchise, all this stuff. Like, he spent a small slither of time in Philadelphia, so probably just long enough to be programmed as an Eagle. As a matter of fact, he spent a small slither of time in the National Football League as it was. I think he came to the league in 2012, and he played for about 3 seasons. So 3 or 4 seasons, maybe. So, he he didn't understand his first video why Eric Bieniemy would be wanting to make a lateral move. Then Eric Bieniemy makes the quote-unquote lateral move, which really isn't a lateral move per se. Now he has full control over the offense and is granted the assistant head coach title, which, as we know, with new ownership looming, this could possibly turn into intern head coach by mid-season, because there's already been some bidders who had reached out to Sean Payton, before Payton went to the Broncos. So, Ron Rivera, like it or not, he's on the hot seat. So let's just watch this take. Now, this is after LaShawn McCoy said his little part about Eric Bieniemy. Now, LaShawn McCoy, just a little backstory on that, he's one who's been very outspoken against Eric Bieniemy altogether. Like, he does not like Eric Bieniemy at all. Says that Eric Bieniemy was basically verbally abusive, would cuss out even the star players, was not a player's coach, just, not really a good coaching material at all. So, he did not like, he just didn't like EB whatsoever. But I couldn't really understand his take either. Like, he wasn't really in favor of EB taking this job with the Commanders, because he wants to support a black man having, being able to have a head coaching position, as long as it's not Eric Bieniemy. So, and then Emmanuel, he latches onto this because it's just fuel for his fire of his argument. So now Echo is, well, you know what? Let me just roll this. I think a lot of this will just make a lot more sense if I just roll the tape here.
Not all money is good money. Why would you go from Patrick Mahomes, who is a consensus top 5 quarterback in the history of the National Football League, to a quarterback in Sam Howell who has 1 start under his belt in his career? Sam Howell was great as a sophomore at North Carolina. I watched them intensely because my former head coach, Hall of Fame college football head coach, is the head coach at the University of North Carolina, coached Sam Howell in college. Had a great sophomore year. But his junior year, completion percentage went down. Touchdowns went down. Interceptions went up. Now, he did lose his beast of running backs to the National Football League, but Sam Howell has one.
Now, let me just stop him right there. Yes, he lost a lot of his wide receivers. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Sam Howell also lost some senior offensive linemen as well. So Sam Howell kind of ran for his life, especially in his senior year, I believe it was. Either junior year or senior year. So this is kind of a bad take.
Career start in the NFL? And you going from Patrick Mahomes, who got more Super Bowl MVPs than Sam Howell has NFL starts.
Talk to him.
Like, let's put this in context, y'all. Yeah. Pat Mahomes has more MVPs in the Super Bowl than Sam Howell has career starts, and you gonna tell me that's an upgrade? No. Do not try to sell me some sort of fool's gold. I watch too much football to know that. Congrats on Eric Bieniemy for getting more paper. But Shady, what you know about paper, what I've learned about paper, not all money is good money.
Not all money is good money. Okay. Not all money is good money. Let's just remember that. But, I don't think it's about the money. Because, honestly, Kansas City wanted EB back, but at least that's what I hear. And, I'm not sure if EB wanted to come back necessarily. I think he wanted his opportunity to be able to at least have full control over his offense. He also has full control over his staff on offense. So, literally, when we say he's an assistant head coach, he seriously is an assistant head coach. He is almost equal to Ron Rivera. Now Ron Rivera, yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to oversee everything, but now he's got basically another head coach who has full control over his personnel, all of that, and of course the offensive scheme. So there is a lot of upgrades, and the only reason why that Emmanuel Echo is saying that there are no upgrades to this, that it's all about the money. Number one, he's being a hater. Number two, it's just because that he is looking on the surface and he's saying you're going from Patrick Mahomes to Sam Howell. Well, you know what? You got to start somewhere. And who's to say that Sam Howell is not going to be a great quarterback in the league? Sam Howell had that one start against a Dallas Cowboys team that was a playoff team that had all their starters in. And he showed poise, and he came out there and he won. He looked like a quarterback who had been playing all season. So if he could come out there and play against a stout playoff team and play well and beat this team handily, then don't give me this crap. I'm sorry, but this is just a dumb take. This is a very dumb take. I think that EB is going to do well in Washington, but guess what? I'm also biased because I'm a Washington football team fan, right? I'm a Commanders fan, Redskins fan. I've been a fan since 1981. So I am so tired of these delusional, tired excuses that these NFL talking heads come out with year in and year out about this franchise. This franchise, thanks to Ron Rivera, even though that things have not been perfect on the field, Ron Rivera has changed the culture within the locker room, has changed the culture, I think, within the front office. And, there's been diversity. There's been a lot of positive things that has went on within the organization. And now it looks like there's ownership change, which is the ultimate positive change for this franchise. Eventually, this tired excuse of this is a dysfunctional franchise ends. You can't hold on to that paper-thin excuse anymore. At this point, you just look like a hater. And these talking heads are coming out and speaking against EB and then, being so outspoken of this move toward, EB going to Washington. Let me tell you, if EB went to Philadelphia and the same lateral move, be nothing but praises. Emmanuel Echo would have been like, you know what? He deserves a head coaching job, but he's going to excel in Philadelphia. He's going to have Jalen Hurts. I think I must have my mind on basketball. He's going to make sure that pushes him over the top to actually win a Super Bowl. This is great for Philadelphia. That would have been the narrative. But because it's Washington, it's a trash move. That is exactly what it is. Tell me I'm wrong. Emmanuel Echo, look at me and tell me that I'm wrong, because you know what, brother? No. I see right through all this media bias and all this junk. It's nothing but junk. Do I think that Eric Bieniemy deserves a head coaching position? Absolutely. Absolutely do I feel like he deserves a head coaching position. And he just might get it in Washington, honestly. But to say that this was a trash move, this was a lateral move, that's junk, man. That's junk. This video's gotten way too long. It's almost 15 minutes long. I'm sorry, folks, but had to get this video out. I'm not putting out as many videos during the off season, so you know you're forced to hear it all in one clump. And I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I'm nasally. So forgive me for that as well. Hey, folks, if you like this video, please comment. You know, at least give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. I need the algorithm as much as possible to help me out. Your likes, share it with your buddies. Hey, share it with the NFL talking heads. I'm sure that they'll look at me and be like, who is this white nobody? Won't be the first time I've probably heard that. But, you know, just share it. Let's get it out. Let's talk about it. And also, if you enjoyed this channel, you really want to help me out, have an Etsy page. It's called Envy Artwork. I have all sorts of awesome artwork that I've created. I've got t-shirts. I've got mugs. Washington Commanders mug. It's different from what you'll see anywhere else. Yes, I still have Redskins stuff. Cowboys, even though I hate them. Cincinnati Bengals banners. I've got stuff for the world champions as well. Hey, Red Wolves, you never know. Commanders alternative logos. Red Hogs, because you never know. I got music t-shirts. I've got stuff for kids. I've got awesome artwork for, you know, wall art, abstract stuff, you know, some watercolor stuff. I got something for everybody, folks. So it's Envy Artwork on Etsy. Please look it up. I think you'll find something that you'll enjoy. And certainly it helps me out a whole lot to have some sales. And, well, you get something in return. Folks, thank you for this absolutely long video. I will see you in the next one. Hey, you stayed until the very end. Thank you so much. Watch another one right now.